Technically, back in the day, the most common item for Garchomp was actually Choice Scarf, especially in singles, because you could just lock into Outrage and just nuke everybody.
Yes, but while very uncommon, you seem to remember the one problem with like Choice Scarf was there were very, very few things that could actually live an outrage from that, and those things could counter you. So, where was the NPC?
Woman at the desk.
Oh yeah. Basically, like, I seem to remember now, you know, because this is still Gen 4 Garchomp, it's like, all of these are just useful for different reasons. The reason the ultimate set ended up being the, like, you take a hit and set up with Swords Dance, because a choice item is technically a, like, less of a boost than Swords Dance. There were very, very few things that could actually, like, live the Choice Scarf to outrage because of certain, like, steel types being able to resist things, or certain things that are just, you know, super fat. Like, even when it's really low defense stat, it's like Blissey, because it's fucking HP, Blissey is just fat.
Choice Scarf back in the like day 4 Gen 4.
No, because Gen 4 was also before the team preview, remember, all of the sets were a problem because of how volatile it was, where it was like, literally, this team loses to the Achi Berry, this team loses to the Choice Scarf, this team loses to the Choice Band. You don't know which one they're running. Though even now, as the team preview, they don't tell you items, which they should.
You were still butthurt about
They
that.
really fucking should. I really feel like they should allow you to see everything in your opponent's team in Wi-Fi battles. They really fucking should just allow you to do that at this point. Because if they do that, maybe that would actually start to kill people that do stupid gimmick strategies, like, you know, leading, like, Choice Scarf, Final Gambit, like, Annihilate, or just other really dumb shit, like, Choice Bandit.
At the very least!
Or other dumb shit, like, Choice Banded, like, helping hand boosted explosion from, like, fucking Snorlax or whatever.
At the very least, I feel like
if you're not going to do everything, you could at least do they show you something's items, because if you see something's items, that can actually show you what, like, they can give you an idea as to the set someone is using, because was it being a choice item, you think, because you can't, you know, choose other moves, they're not going to have, like, setup on that.
What I was going to say, at the very least, item and moveset,
You know.
which could let you plan accordingly. And that doesn't completely ruin things.
Though, the other reason I feel like you should know literally fucking everything is because tournaments force you to know literally fucking everything.
Okay, tournaments are generally, even the open team sheet that they started doing was like, I believe it's item, moves, and your Terra type. You do not get to know your opponent's EV spread.
I think abilities were at least listed
I think
in there as well.
That sounds right. It's been a minute.
I'm not sure. What time is it?
11?
Might, like, stop in a minute, because I was thinking of maybe, because I have a green team, maybe actually doing his first. I didn't check. Come on, walk onto the designation. There we go.
Send in everyone.
Which one?
So, at the very least, item, ability, and moveset. And then if you wanted to give something that could stay hidden, nature and EV spread could stay hidden. That way you're not 100% sure, but you could have an idea.
Also, I feel like I would have to go check. I feel like after a tournament where someone did, like, something sort of mildly dubious with their team, like, because, you know, open team sheet wasn't a thing for a while, they used that to, like, hide a fact of, even if not, hold on, chance they gotta murder it. I feel like after a certain point, I remember it literally be a game. Wow, I know its defense is low, but it's like my God, you died to. I believe, is that an attack hindering nature? Yeah, it is. You died to U-turn on an attack hindering nature.
They died in a marching accident.
Anyway, the point I was
And
going...
who's that? That would be my band!
The point I was going to...
Stop in a minute.
Yeah, I was going to stop in a minute. The point I was going to make was, I swear I seem to remember Open Team Sheet literally forces everything, including IVs.
It doesn't.
So it might be at least abilities then.
IVs are not on there. I'm pretty sure if it's one extra thing, it's ability.
It being ability, that would make the most sense. Like, something like that would make the most sense. I know for a fact moves and stuff are listed because one of the instances of... Because the thing I find so fucking hilarious is the thing that led to someone, like... The thing that led to them changing that and making it so you have to list everything was that guy that brought the, like, eruption Heatran. And I find it funny that that of, like, all motherfuckers became the thing that forced them to go, okay, maybe there is a problem here.
Well... Scarlet and Violet does open team sheet specifically because of Terra types.
Yes, but open team sheets has been a thing long before this. Long before Scarlet and Violet. Like
not fully. Scarlet and Violet is the first time tournaments have been forced into a complete 100% super open team sheet, and it is almost entirely because Terra types are bullshit.
If we want to look at the item, life form, I'm going to have to go buy more shit for the time being.
Because that's the thing about Terra types. Before wrapping up this shorter recording to ramble a little bit, because people are starting to feel this way, that especially in ranked, that in a dumb, like, best of one, that so many people on the ladder, you'll run into, like, a guy or something, or, you know, whoever the fuck, and I do love that, oh, I bitch about something, and people give me crap, then certain competitive players say it, and people are like, you know, in hindsight, you're actually right, and it's this really funny thing of, oh man, there should be a bit of an open team sheet on the ladder, because it's not fair that I'm winning a match and my opponent has an idiotic Terra type. and their idiotic Terra type allows them to single-handedly sweep my team.
I do a lot of people's dumb hypocrisy and shit, I guess, because I have the Overpawn actually give them leftovers, life orb to the King. I could give the Pelipper a damn proc, but again, having Overpawn on the team, I like if I extend the sun, that would weaken it. Salt Vest.
Essentially, the evil are butthurt that in the online ladder, because it's the best of one, that you could lose to the time. God, I'm that weird. That you could lose.
You know what? Covert Cloak. Let's actually do that. That's decent on Urshifu.
It's like that you could lose.
You know,
specifically.
You lose to the dumb, like, to the, you know, dumb, everyone hates it, best of one, like, Choice Bandit, Terra Normal, Lecky.
Or just random nonsense. And it is funny that people want, like, an open team sheet in the Pokemon so that they could basically
Ha, you fool. Now watch me, Nene. Look at that damage. Except it might actually, because it's not an offensive item, it might actually live.
I think it'll kill.
That is a fat bird.
Every individual hit fucking focus ass.
Funny. If I had swapped targets, we wouldn't be having this problem. Fucking tailwind. Ow. Ow.
And Mandiboss is thick, and every hit of multi-hit moves rolls damage rolls sort of individually. So
I think that was a fucking
low roll.
Because that was fucking green boosted. That was green boosted right there. Assholes. Douchebags, every last one of you. Thick ass bird. The thickest pelican. I think this is the max physical defense one.
I think? Fat fucking dude. Ow.
Ow.
Cleaver.
I can't remember, does electric no, does rock resist?
No, because
Let's do Big Funny then.
Aerodactyl is weak to electric damage.
Let's do the Big Funny then. The biggest funny.
Can also explain a different mechanic in Pokemon that we've talked a bit
Because
about.
I almost clicked Boom Burst for the absolute biggest funny. Holy shit, it lived.
Because it's spread damage. It's... What I was going to say... Spread damage? If there's only one target, does become single.
orb. Ow.
It's fine.
Ow.
Shift into turbo. Gotta get all the fire shards.
Give me all of that. Hey, I was planning on making certain things, you know, I fire type later, so I do literally, like, need all of that.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're going to stop in a minute before stopping. I just wanted to see, like, are there any other NPCs around that I could fight? I don't believe so, no. Pretty sure it's just the one.
Yes.
Stop in a minute. They can at least give me time to finalize shit off.
Yes.
To finalize every thing on Chansey, gotta murder. Like, whenever I see,
Oh, big murder.
whenever I see a Chansey, it's like I have to kill it. I'm filled with an undescribable bloodlust.
Unyielding rage.
Yes. The most unyielding of rage.
This is a new feeling. Pride in someone else. But it's unfortunately overshadowed by all this unyielding rage.
Because like I've expressed before, I don't like Chansey. Like, at all. I don't like Chansey or anything about her. I don't see any NPCs where's Alright, are you? Oh.
Censure.
3 a star saying true. Look at all the crap I'm picking up. On murder Chansey again. Then after I murder Chansey, I'll run back and stop.
Mm-hmm.
Though another thing was the murdering Chansey because the one like Gudra actually wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. That's part of the reason it's been taking the amount of damage it has. Is it you know, has a decent amount of what's a decent amount of levels lower, but that also, I feel like that was a testament to Gudra's thickness, is how much lower leveled it is, and how, okay, where the fuck is the healing thing?
Over there. Up top. It's just right to the... Gudra has 150 base special defense. We've been over this.
How did you end up in a friend ball? I don't remember what path took to get there.
You got a wonder trade.
I thought that started with was actually a raid, so I might have done that. You know, I have decent amount of a large. How many large would this take? That's a bit more than I thought. How many of the extra large will this take? Not that many, but I have far less of those. I'd stop in a minute. Like 10 looking.
Just
on because I got so many candy from the Halloween event. Because like Yeah, regular rare candies, I have a lot. Okay, so like 10 of those. Let's do 10 extra large. Oh,
Yep.
perfect. That will then just be... Perfect, it's done. Stop now.
All is done.
Yes, all is done.
That is the best. Fucking. Baba is you true ending. You do not beat the game.
Look at that thickness.
You
Look at it.
you do a final puzzle and you create the scenario. All is done.
Yeah, it was the HP in defense. Yeah, these are all fairly straightforward. Except for whatever the fuck this is. I think this was, I think it was either a Rillaboom set or a Togekiss set. Shifted around
You modified some other numbers.
Shifted around what stats were invested where and called it a day.
Because it's a good way to get some bulk.
Yes. Like, look at that. 351 special defense and 32 physical defense.
And a glorious 269 special attack.
Nice.
She knows what she did. Or he knows.
It's he, because Ivan knows.
God, that's a weird movie.
Yeah.
We need to end because of anime.
I said I can stop there. I just thought out, you know what? I
With
had...
all of that said, short recording, unfortunately, because shenanigans today, but Carson wanted to clean up the team anyway. So, I hope you all enjoyed this set of videos, and I hope I will see you all next time. So, as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, everybody. I hope you come back someday. See you later. It's time for the question of the day and my overall thoughts on the topic. So, anyway, how many of you also think that the online battles should have a more open team sheet? While I generally agree with that, I do think Carson's idea was a little bit excessive. And I think we could dial that back a little bit, because I don't mind a little bit of mystery for online battles, but I do think a slightly more open team sheet would be good, because that would solve a lot of problems. Personally, I don't really think it's necessary to see your opponent's IVs or their EV training, but I do think it's necessary to see your opponent's movesets and their hold items, because that gives you a good idea on what each Pokemon is likely going to do. And if we really need some extra information, we could throw in the abilities and the natures, because at that point, that gives you a really good idea on what each Pokemon on the team is likely going to do, and we could leave the EV spreads and the IVs a complete mystery, so that there is a little bit of surprise. And I feel like this would be fine. I'm not against an open team sheet, but I feel like certain information is not inherently needed. I feel like we just need a couple of basic pieces of information, and that gives you a good enough idea on what your opponent might use a Pokemon for, especially when you're dealing with the online ladder, where you generally do not use your entire team. So even if you have some extra information, you won't know what your opponent will bring. And by having that extra information, you can make more informed decisions on trying to actually counter your opponent, because you know what your opponent has, and that leaves out a lot of dumb bullshit inconsistency when it comes to matchups. Because you could basically put a choice scarf on more or less any Pokemon and catch people off guard with a Pokemon that they were not expecting to have a choice scarf. Or you could do a bunch of stupid nonsense. And this is how people will often do dumb best of one cheese strats, because they will build a team around a stupid gimmick that catches people off guard. And if you happen to catch people off guard, you get cheap, undeserved wins simply because you did something stupid just for the sake of squeaking out a win that you can only get away with because people are not expecting your dumb nonsense. So by having a more open team sheet, you could eliminate a lot of that, and then the battles would actually be about trying to counter your opponent, knowing fully well that your opponent knows what you have, but they know that you know what they have. So then it's less about trying to cheese your opponent and more about trying to strategize around countering whatever they brought, because both people would know what the other person had, and that makes it easy to strategize. And then the battles are a lot more varied, because now you need to consider that if your opponent knows what you have, you can't do as many dumb nonsense things, because obvious dumb cheesy bullshit wouldn't work as well, since your opponent would know your dumb cheesy bullshit before the match even started. So then it becomes a game of trying to use your team correctly to overcome your opponent when you both know that the other person has this or that. So a lot of choices and counterplay are now based on what you did or did not bring, and that leads to a bunch of crazy mind games, because you could bring an obvious choice and win if your opponent was scared of one thing and you didn't bring it at all. So I feel like a good open team sheet would add a lot of needed variety and actually make Pokemon a bit more balanced, because I personally hate when people win due to dumb best of one cheesy bullshit. That shit gets really old. Anyway, I have been rambling. You can leave your thoughts, opinions, and answers in the comments, or you can leave them on social media. All of my social media links, as well as my Discord links, are in the video description. Now, as always, I need to be a shill for a minute. If you subscribe to the channel, and if you follow me on social media, that really helps our communities grow. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope I will see you all next time. So, as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everybody. I hope you come back someday. See you later.